In order and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next we have is the approval of the agenda.
I will move to approve the agenda for today's meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next is approval of the minutes of last week.
I'll make a motion to approve minutes for last week.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Next is approval of claims for payment.
I'll move to approve the claims for payment for this week.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Next we have is community services job descriptions. I got Lynn here. Did you want to talk about these at all?
You all have a copy, right?
Yeah, the latest one.
You got
Yeah.
the revised one from this morning?
Yep.
Okay. Great.
You should have got
Just,
that on your desk or something.
well, as you know, with the work that Paul's doing for the county and everything, and we were asked to revise our job descriptions, so as we pulled those out, I found that, several of ours were done in 2008, so they were kind of outdated. So I've updated the ones for case management and other staff in our office, but I thought these two probably would need board approval. The first one is the mental health advocate, which as you know, as of July 1st, the law changed so that they actually are now considered a county employee. So I took an old job description that we had from when she was first initially hired. And then there were also some new rules, and actually it just came out yesterday, and that's why I sent over the revised, because those rules kind of list job duties, and I assume they're trying to make that consistent throughout the state so that everybody's using that same set of job duties. So I compared it with what I'd sent you before, and it's pretty much the same. I added a couple things there, number 9 and 10. And then the other thing they're changing is the education requirements. So as of July 1st, a new mental health advocate has to have a bachelor's degree and has to have experience working with people with mental illness. And before, that was not necessarily the case, even though Mary's been doing it and she has, I think, a master's degree, so she's well qualified. But there's an exception, like if somebody was doing the job as of July 1st, they get grandfathered in. But since Mary already has it, I didn't include that in the job description because then in the future we'll have to have that degree and that experience. So, and then the other thing is, I put in here that basically I would be her supervisor. She's been in our department. I've been doing her time cards. She's pretty much been part of our department anyway, even though technically it was the court's responsibility. So under this, then, I would do her. In the new rules, there's requirements. We have to collect data. You have to turn into the state every year, like the cases that she covers. We have to do a program improvement plan. You have to actually have some goals in place and address those, kind of like what we do with case management. So there's several different things that I would then need to do related to this. I would do her annual eval, just like any other department staff. So I just thought that you guys would want to approve that, probably that job description, since it is kind of a change. And then the other one would be for my position, and again, I pulled out my old one from '08. Lots changed since then. None of the regional stuff was in there, so I added all the regional duties that have been added. Another change is on the first page. I included it as based on 2,080 hours rather than the 1950. So that would be based on a 40-hour week. I've got, I've talked to you guys about this before, but I can give you some more information if you want as far as the actual hours it takes and with all the additional duties. And then the other thing is that when he does this survey, I'm sure he's going to be comparing my position with others in our region. And I think everybody else in our region is at 40 hours. And I've been working more than 40 anyway, so I would just like to have you recognize that, and so that when they do the comparisons, it's apples to apples comparison.
I guess the only questions I got is the ones that change of status, that would be on yours, right? We'd have to do a change of status.
Well, it's a whole new job. I mean, there's a lot of additional duties that were on the old one. And I think in '08, you guys, the board approved all the job descriptions initially. So I assume since you're my supervisor, that you would be the ones to approve that one.
I wasn't here for '08.
Yeah, I didn't remember the board approving them. I mean, I can see the change of status and stuff, but the job duties to me are just, I mean, like you said, you added what was in the code, which rightfully so, and that kind of thing, but I don't know that we approved them. I don't know if I feel comfortable approving all of them, because I don't know what everybody does.
Well, I just thought maybe the ones that you directly supervise. Because I wouldn't want one of my staff to, just randomly change their job description without my approval, so I just thought you guys
No,
would
I think
wanna-
it should be the department head approval for sure.
And since you're my, boss, I just thought it would be something the board would want to do. I don't think you'd want to approve every single job description.
No.
because- And that's why I went ahead with the other ones in my department, but I thought these two should probably come to you guys.
Well, the mental health advocate, aren't you her supervisor though?
Well, technically the code up until July 1st said it was the court's responsibility to supervise, even though the court never really supervised the advocates at all. I mean, they were just kind of on their own.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is kind of a change in that you're designating that, yes, now she is part of this department and that I'm her supervisor.
Okay.
We can maybe go ahead and I see where you come from, so maybe we can go ahead and acknowledge, make a motion to acknowledge the job descriptions, and then send them on to Human Resources? How's that sound?
But Lynn's, I mean, I don't know that I had this long enough to really have the conversation as far as the difference between the 1950 and the 2080 hours, and what's the pros and cons of that. And not that I have a problem with it, because I know you work more than the 1950, so I'm sure you have. That's been brought up a number of times.
And I did visit with Jessica about it because I know when we talked about it before, there were some issues with how it figures out to vacation, other things.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, I don't know if it was in her mouth, but she seemed okay with it. And, I don't really care I'm not concerned about the benefit part. I mean, I know you probably have to allocate it based on that anyway, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's just more
And I'd rather do that on a change of status than in the job description. I mean, if we approve that on a change of status, then I wouldn't have a problem with, having it in the job description. But I think it needs to be there first. But I also think that maybe we would just acknowledge them at this point and pass them on to,
Human Resources?
yes, to HR.
okay, well, I think on the, it does take a
Len, before,
signature.
and I hate to interrupt, and there could be some, through our transition in regional mental health, there could be some changes still coming up in the future for job descriptions, possibly. Could there?
Right, and.
Yeah, I mean, this could be an ongoing thing.
Yeah, I mean,
For what I'm understanding is the mental health advocate now currently works for the court system, right?
until July 1st, legally,
And-
they
and
are
we just-
responsible.
And we just want to make it so she works, that you are her boss.
Yep, she's now a county employee as of July 1st, and that she's part of the community services, and that I would supervise her, basically. And then some.
So
duties are-
acknowledging that would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
However you want to do that. On mine,
And
I think
I
it
don't
does
know,
take
should that be on a change of status also?
We've already done the change of status.
We've done that.
That's
Back
true.
in
That's
July
true.
We've approved that.
And we're just acknowledging that these
Sure.
are the job duties
Job
now.
description, yeah.
It's just
Okay.
updated.
So I'm okay with the acknowledgement on that if you are. It's saying the same thing.
Sure, however,
The approval, the change in the hours, I know we talked about it here, what was it, a year and a half ago or a year ago? Changing to 2,080 hours.
well, no, I don't think it's been that long, but.
I don't think it was
When-
that
when
long
we-
either, because I was here.
When we bumped your salary up.
yeah.
Oh, well,
that
that
was
one, no,
last
that
fall.
was last fall.
And then we talked about changing it then, and we decided to leave it to the 1950 on the change of status. maybe we should probably do the change of status as part of a change of status as well, but to acknowledge this is still fine. That these
Yeah.
are your duties, we just got it, for the hours, we'd have to do this
Yeah,
change of status.
I would just feel more comfortable having the change of status. I mean, I don't have a problem with acknowledging both of these, but I think we should have a change of status and, you know, you don't care about the benefits, but I think we need to be doing the benefits for the hours like anybody else that would work those hours, just so there isn't issues or problems down the line. So I think we would,
And another
I'd
thing,
like to
just for
see a change of
consistency,
status.
because we are now part of a region, I mean, I know when last I talked, we talked about maybe even for the whole department, but I know that would be a big, you know, a big change, and at least the other staff get, you know, their comp time and stuff for those additional hours, but I'm pretty sure that every other, you know, within our region, every other county, at least in the community services department, are based on
40 hours. Mm.
I know, like Franklin, I think their normal courthouse is only like 35,
Yeah.
Yes.
35.
But-
Well, but they've been changing that for
but
employees.
community services is based on 40.
IT is 40, I mean, a lot of new hires, they've been switching to 40. It's kind of down to the elected offices now.
Okay.
In the courthouse.
Okay. Well, again, I think what we're comfortable with is actually this being a change of status, but going ahead with acknowledging it. And, I mean, honestly, I don't have a problem with you moving to 40 hours a week.
So do you want me to, or do we want to do a change of status, put it back on the agenda then for next week?
Next week.
or- Okay.
I
That'll work.
don't have a problem. Okay, so.
Motion's on the table.
Oh, it is, okay, well, I'll second it then.
It's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. I forgot what the motion was.
I
To
didn't-
acknowledge receipt. of-
Acknowledge,
And
yeah.
move
Oh,
to HR.
okay.
And send it to HR.
Next is appointment of Supervisors Compensation Board Representative.
I talked to Diane Meyer from Iowa Falls, and she would be willing to be our representative on the compensation board, so I would make the motion to appoint Diane Meyer.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. Accept resignation of Board of Health.
I'll make a
This would
motion.
be Kevin Butt,
Yeah.
and his term ends at the end of the year.
So I'll make a motion to accept Kevin Butt's resignation with his term ending December 31st of 2015. His resignation is as of today.
Okay, and I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is we have an appointment to the Board of Health. Now this new appointment would be replacing Kenny, so the expiration date would again stay at December 31st, 2015.
Okay. So he would be appointed from now till December?
Right.
Yeah, okay. So I'll make the motion to appoint Tim Brewer to replace Kevin Butt in the Board of Health.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Tim Brewer, knowing that the expiration date is December 31st, 2015. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. Ineligible homestead military credits to be disallowed for 15 and 16.
I will make a motion to approve the homestead and military credits to be allowed and disallowed for 2015
Second.
and 16, excuse me.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded for 15 and 16. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next, we have the approval of the ACA Employer Reporting Plan application. And that's a contract agreement with Task to, advised by Group Services, who's our insurance agent, to keep us in compliance with the ACA.
So I'll make a motion to approve the Affordable Care Act Employer Reporting Plan application.
I will second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Next, we have the approval of the ACA Employer Reporting Plan application. And that's a contract agreement with Task to, advised by Group Services, who's our insurance agent, to keep us in compliance with the ACA.
I will second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Utility permit, secondary roads.
No utility permits. Couple things on the roads. One, and I know there's been kind of an issue with the property owner and a canoe access, but I did visit with that individual yesterday and explained to them that they can't just park a dump trailer on the edge of the road to block it off, so that was moved yesterday. And it wasn't out of anything to do with the argument going on. I said, that means nothing to me. You just need to get that off the edge of the road. It's a hazard. The second thing is, and I sent you the information, I had Blacktop Services. They've done some work for us before. Matthew's gonna set their asphalt plant up, or should be setting it up this week in Alden. They're doing a Grundy resurfacing job. So we have access to some hot mix. And on D Avenue, just south of D20, the Chicken Road, you call it, or whatever, we have 175 foot. We had to core it out, the pavement failed and stuff. So I asked them to give me a price to come in and pave that. That's too big for us to do, you know. And then, while they were here, I asked about doing what we call mill and fill at a couple of intersections with 175. The one intersection with 175 and S75, Bruce remembered that in 2010 we actually had that milled out and had new asphalt put in, and it's failing already. So we need to look at that closer. I think there needs to be some ditching done, and there's a drainage problem. So before we do anything there, we've already done something 5 years ago.
And that's a state ditching, right? Or is that state and
Yes,
county?
the state ditch is holding water, but the pipe that crosses is on our right of way. So the water goes west to east. It goes around, goes south onto our right of way, under the road, our road, and then back around the radius and back to the east. So, but the state is, there's water standing in their part. So I need to get a hold of them and see what we can do, because it won't do any good to patch it again. And we'll get, 5 years again, so.
Let's go back to the previous, and just help me out with that. That area was annexed to Alden, right? Is that?
You're talking Boom Smell one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, the actual annexation runs right along the railroad tracks only.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
Yeah, it's not like they take this chunk of land. They took this strip of
The
land.
small
and then
little,
that
okay.
eggplant. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I got it on the map if you want to look at it.
No, I
So it's ours.
okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to ask and make sure.
Yeah.
You said S75 you want to wait on?
Well, I want to look into it quickly with the DOT and see if we can get the ditching done. If we can, then we could include that. That's a pretty decent price for those two intersections. Granted, we're not going near as far, but we paid right around 40 grand to have that intersection fixed 5 years ago on S75. And so for 26.9, we can get that one fixed and
That's 55.
the Granzo Road. Let's call it what it is, right?
One on each side of it.
Sorry.
That's all right.
So, and then there's a third sheet, and I just asked out of curiosity to see on Highway 175 east out of Eldora. That's Portland cement, and we've had some edge rutting problems there. The DOT's not going to come and resurface that because it's concrete. You know, they'll just patch. So I said, hey, shoot me a price what it would cost to do the 75-foot run out. You know, core the rock out, go along the gravel, 75 foot. So.
Where is that again?
At the gravel road intersections with 175.
Okay.
east of Eldora, you know, like we do when we resurface.
Yeah.
But since that's not gonna be resurfaced for who knows. While they were here, I thought, let's just get a price, and yeah, we'll wait. So,
All right.
As you keep going, then you hit 65, you have the aprons done. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, as we go west, yeah.
Yeah, so it would just be finishing off
Yeah.
the run.
But it's a little more than
Mhm.
I expected. It's cheaper when the DOT comes through to do it, because
Yeah.
they'll be there and everything. So.
Yeah.
So I'd say we wait on that, but I just want to bring this to your attention and want to move with the avenue for sure, the Chicken Road, that needs to be done. And I'd like to do the other two intersections, but we want to make sure that we get that drainage fixed before we, or get the drainage fixed shortly thereafter, so we get that problem taken care of. So those are the two big ones that I had. So I guess what I'm saying is I was planning on moving forward with the avenue and then the two intersections, but not doing the 8 gravel roads.
Okay. Oh, got anything else for us?
No.
Okay. Next we have is an action on the bid of the F-250 pickups for secondary roads. You sent us the copy of all that stuff.
Right.
Was your intent to keep driving the pickup till the new pickup came?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know they gave a couple different options.
Yeah, they gave a couple different options, but we'll use the vehicle, especially this is getting to be the winter season coming. I hate to say that. Because, you know, they're talking a January delivery.
Right.
Seems closer to this one.
So we can just approve the
Or,
bid for the new pickups, but we won't really know what
What
is
the actual price is
what
until
the
we
actual
trade the
price-
truck in.
Right,
Mhm.
due to the
So-
mileage.
So you're proving it knowing that it would be this, or this.
Yep, okay. Okay, I will make a motion to approve the bid from Union Auto for the new F-250 pickups for secondary roads. There's 2 of them,
2 new pickups, yep, with trading the diesel in.
right.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Any other business? Hearing none, I'll ask for adjournment.
Make motion to adjourn.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Is Ron on today or tonight?